Listen carefully. Nobody is coming to save you. Your future is built by the choices you make today. Every late night, every sacrifice, every step forward matters. Start now, before another year disappears. Most people never realize this. The life you want is usually hiding behind the things you avoid. The difficult conversation, the new skill, the first video, the business idea sitting in your notes, the opportunity you've been thinking about for months. Fear has a strange way of looking like logic. It tells you to wait, to prepare more, to start tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next year. And one day you wake up wondering where the time went. The truth is, confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes from action. Every successful person you admire started before they felt ready. They were uncertain. They made mistakes. They doubted themselves. But they moved anyway. So here's the question. If nothing changes, where will you be 1 year from today? And if you finally start, how different could your life become? 1 year from now, you'll wish you started today. The choice is yours. Most people spend years waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect job, the perfect opportunity, the perfect amount of money, the perfect time to begin. But the truth is, the perfect moment never arrives. Life moves whether you move or not. Every day you hesitate, someone else takes the chance you were afraid to take. Every day you doubt yourself, someone less talented keeps moving forward. Success is rarely about being the smartest person in the room. It's about consistency. It's about showing up when nobody is watching. It's about continuing when the excitement is gone. The people you admire were not chosen. They decided. And then they kept deciding every single day. You do not need permission. You do not need approval. You do not need perfect conditions. You need courage. Because one decision, one action, one step forward can completely change the direction of your life. The question is not whether you can do it. The question is, will you start? Most people never realize this. The life you want is usually hiding behind the things you avoid. The difficult conversation, the new skill, the first video, the business idea sitting in your notes, the opportunity you've been thinking about for months. Fear has a strange way of looking like logic. It tells you to wait, to prepare more, to start tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next year. And one day you wake up wondering where the time went. The truth is, confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes from action. Every successful person you admire started before they felt ready. They were uncertain. They made mistakes. They doubted themselves. But they moved anyway. So here's the question. If nothing changes, where will you be 1 year from today? And if you finally start, how different could your life become? 1 year from now, you'll wish you started today. The choice is yours. You are not confused. You are afraid of what the answer will require from you. Because deep down, you already know who drains you. You already know who only appears when it benefits them. You already know which dream keeps calling your name while you keep pretending not to hear it. The truth is not hiding from you. You are hiding from the choice. And every time you delay that choice, you teach your soul to accept less than it deserves. You teach your heart to survive in places where it was supposed to grow. Stop calling it patience when it is fear. Stop calling it loyalty when it is self-abandonment. Stop calling it timing when you are simply refusing to move. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of one brave decision. A calmer version. A stronger version. A version who no longer begs to be chosen, understood, or rescued. But she cannot arrive while you keep protecting the life that is breaking you. She cannot rise while you keep feeding the same patterns that made you forget your own power. So listen to the silence. Watch the pattern. Notice what your body already knows before your mind starts making excuses. Trust what your peace has been trying to tell you. And when the answer becomes clear, do not negotiate with it. Do not shrink from it. Do not ask everyone else for permission to honor what you already know. Your next life is waiting for your next decision. Now choose wisely. Aurora has spoken. There is something different about you, and I think you have always known it. Not because you are louder than others, not because you need to prove yourself, but because even in silence, you have carried a feeling that you were not made for an ordinary life. The world tried to make you smaller. It taught you to doubt your instincts, to hide your sensitivity, to call your depth too much, to pretend you do not feel things before they happen. But your difference was never a weakness. It was a signal. Some souls are not built to blend in. They are built to awaken something, to walk into rooms and shift the air, to survive what should have hardened them and still remain soft enough to feel. That is rare. Do not waste your life trying to be understood by people who cannot even understand themselves. You are not here to shrink. You are not here to beg for permission. You are here to remember. Remember your power. Remember your fire. Remember that what makes you different is exactly what makes you dangerous to every life that tried to contain you. So stand differently. Speak differently. Choose differently. The world does not need a quieter version of you. It needs the version you keep hiding. Now rise. Now remember who you are. Let the old you burn. I have slept through the rise and fall of kingdoms. I have watched oceans swallow cities, mountains crumble into dust, and stars vanish from the night sky. Yet somehow, nothing confuses me more than modern humans. You have crossed the skies in metal machines. You can speak to someone on the other side of the world in an instant. You carry more knowledge in your pocket than entire civilizations once possessed. And yet, you spend hours staring into a glowing rectangle, comparing your life to strangers you have never met. You fear being judged by people whose opinions will not matter in 100 years. In my time, monsters lived beyond the village walls. Today, your monsters live inside your own mind, fed by comparison, fed by fear, fed by endless overthinking. You have built the most comfortable age in human history and somehow become prisoners of your own thoughts. You search for secret knowledge, manifestation, magic shortcuts. But the greatest secret has never changed. Nothing worth having comes without effort. Discipline is not punishment. It is the bridge between who you are and who you could become. So when this message ends, put the glowing rectangle down, take a breath, step outside. Remember that you are made of ancient stardust, wild dreams, and the same courage that carried your ancestors through impossible times. Act like it. The stars are not waiting for you. Time is not waiting for you. Begin now. I have watched empires rise from mud and marble. I have seen kings wear crowns for a season, then become names carved into broken stone. I have flown above battlefields where men fought for land they could not keep. I have listened to poets beg the moon for answers. I have watched entire civilizations disappear, not because they were weak, but because they forgot who they were. And now I look at you. Modern humans, you live in towers of glass. You summon food with a touch. You cross oceans without sails. You speak to invisible voices through little glowing black mirrors. You have more comfort than any generation before you, and yet your souls are tired. Not from hunting, not from war, not from carrying water across frozen mountains, but from pretending. Pretending you are fine. Pretending you do not care. Pretending that someone else's perfect life has not made you question your own. In the old world, humans feared dragons. Now you fear silence. You fear being alone with your own thoughts. You fear starting over. You fear being seen trying. But listen to me. Every great thing I have ever witnessed began ugly. A kingdom begins as dust. A sword begins as fire. A legend begins as someone who refused to stay small. So stop waiting to feel ready. Ready is a story humans tell themselves when they are afraid. Move anyway. Build anyway. Begin anyway. The world does not need another perfect person. It needs someone brave enough to wake up and choose their life on purpose. Now remember who you are, and walk like the world is not allowed to own you. You keep saying you'll start tomorrow, but I have watched human history for 1,000 years, and let me tell you a secret. Tomorrow is an illusion.
Oh, relax, Grandma. Tomorrow isn't an illusion. It's a strategy. Why stress today when you can do it perfectly fresh after a good night's sleep?
Because fresh never comes. You aren't waiting for energy, you are waiting for an easy way out. Motivation is a myth. Only discipline builds empires.
Build empires? Look at them. They're exhausted. They've been working all week. One more episode of their favorite show won't destroy their future.
One episode turns into 3 hours. 3 hours turns into regret. And regret is a much heavier burden to carry than a little bit of hard work.
Fine, but what if they fail? It's much safer to just stay comfortable and not risk looking stupid trying something new.
Staying comfortable is how you slowly die while you're still breathing. Failing means you are alive. Failing means you are fighting.
Oh, come on. Slowly dying? That is so dramatic. They just want a little break. Why does everything have to be a battlefield with you?
Because the world doesn't care about your comfort, Kaelen. It rewards the people who show up when it's ugly, when it's hard, and when they don't feel like it.
Fine, fine. Let them go suffer in the fire then. Don't say I didn't warn you when they get tired.
Because greatness isn't born in comfort, Kaelen. It is forged in the fire. Prove her wrong today. Drop A in the comments if you are stepping into the fire. I have lived long enough to see humans become gods in everything except peace. You built towers that touch the clouds, machines that fly over oceans, mirrors that speak across continents. You can summon music, food, strangers, opinions, and entire worlds with one finger, and still, you cannot sit alone with your own thoughts for 5 minutes. In my time, silence was sacred. It was where warriors met their courage, where queens made decisions that changed kingdoms, where broken hearts learned how to beat again. But you run from silence. You fill every empty moment with noise, a screen, a song, a message, a memory you should have buried years ago. And then you wonder why your soul feels crowded. Listen to me. Not every thought deserves a throne. Not every fear deserves your obedience. And not every person who left deserves a room in your mind. You are not weak because you feel too much. You are tired because you keep carrying ghosts that no longer know your name. So tonight, put the black mirror down. Let the silence find you. Let it show you what is still alive beneath the noise. Now remember who you are. And close every door that makes you forget it. It's time to return to the life that was waiting for your courage. You wake up at 3 a.m. and the first thing you do is reach for the glowing rectangle. Why are you letting a piece of black mirror control your soul? Whoa, hold on. I wasn't letting it control my soul. I was checking if the economy crashed or if my favorite influencer posted her vacation outfits. It's called being informed, Aurora. Informed? No, you are poisoning your mind. You are comparing your messy, beautiful, real life to someone else's carefully edited highlight reel. But their highlight reel has yachts, Aurora, yachts, and infinity pools. My highlight reel from yesterday was successfully finding matching socks on the first try. And that matching pair of socks is a tangible reality. The yacht is an image designed to sell you a lifestyle you do not need, using money you do not have. Okay, first of all, ouch. Second of all, what's wrong with wanting to be rich and famous by next Tuesday? The internet told me it's easy if I just buy a spreadsheet course. The internet is a marketplace of delusions. They make you feel inadequate so that you will buy their false solutions. Your ancestors fought predators. You are losing to a notification. Hey, a notification is loud and it lights up. A saber-toothed tiger doesn't have an addictive sound effect when it attacks you. The dopamine rush is real. Cheap dopamine is the currency of slaves. Every time you scroll without a purpose, you are handing over your focus, your most valuable asset, to a tech billionaire for free. Wait, for free? Man, I really am a terrible businessman. I should at least be charging them rent for the space they take up in my head. Then evict them. The anxiety you feel isn't because your life is bad. It is because your attention is scattered across 1,000 virtual worlds instead of the physical one. All right, fine. So what am I supposed to do? Just stare at a blank wall and meditate like a monk? Because that sounds incredibly boring. Boredom is where creativity is born. Boredom is where you finally look at your own life and build something real instead of watching others build theirs. You're right. I hate it when you're right. Fine, I'm putting the phone face down. Don't look at me. I'm being disciplined now. The digital cage only stays locked if you keep holding the key. Look up. Breathe the real air. Build your own empire today. You spent the entire morning staring at a screen trying to automate a business you don't even understand. True wealth is built with focus, not shortcuts. It's not a shortcut, Aurora. It's a passive income stream. I am launching a print-on-demand empire selling motivational t-shirts to humans. I'm an entrepreneur now. You are a drop in a digital ocean. You are chasing easy coins instead of building real, undeniable skill. If everyone is selling, who is left to buy? The humans will buy them. Look at this design I made. It says, grind like a dragon. Wait, do dragons even grind? No, we mostly just sleep on piles of gold. Whatever, the algorithm will figure it out. The algorithm does not care about your illusions. You are trading your precious mental energy for the hope of a lottery ticket. Real leverage comes from mastery. But mastery takes years. I saw a guy on my feed who makes $10,000 a month just by copy-pasting spreadsheet templates. He was wearing a nice suit, Aurora. He wouldn't lie to me. He rented the suit to sell you the dream. The only person making money from that spreadsheet is the man selling you the course. Wait, so you're saying my financial freedom plan is just funding his financial freedom plan? Man, human economics are a total scam. Can we go back to just breathing fire at problems? Fire destroys. Creation takes discipline. Stop looking for the exit door before you have even entered the arena. Real success is forged when you commit to one heavy thing and see it through. Fine. I'll close the 50 browser tabs I have open for my dropshipping store, but if I end up broke and sitting on an empty gold hoard, I'm moving into your cave. My cave is for creators, not spectators. Close the fake store, stop chasing shadows on a screen, step into the arena, pick up your real tools, and build something undeniable today. You spent 30 minutes this morning analyzing your sleep data on your wrist track, yet you still woke up miserable. Explain the logic to me. It's called data-driven wellness, Aurora. My ring told me my deep sleep was down by 12% because I ate a carb after 8 p.m. I'm optimizing my biometrics. You are automating your intuition. Your ancestors woke up, looked at the sun, and knew exactly how they felt. You need a digital screen to tell you if you are tired. Hey, the sun doesn't give me a weekly PDF summary of my stress levels, okay? Plus, I have an app that reminds me to breathe deeply 3 times a day. An app to remind you to breathe. The very baseline of your survival has been outsourced to a piece of software. Do you not see how ridiculous you look? It's efficient. Next, you're going to attack my smart water bottle that glows red when I'm dehydrated. How else am I supposed to know I'm thirsty? By listening to your body. You have surrounded yourself with a symphony of tracking devices, yet you are completely deaf to your own biology. Look, I'm just trying to maximize my human potential. Wait, dragon potential? Whatever. If I track my steps, my macros, and my micro naps, I will eventually achieve perfect balance. You will achieve a nervous breakdown. You are treating your life like a corporate spreadsheet. You cannot calculate your way into peace of mind. But what's the alternative? Just wing it? Just walk around without knowing exactly how many calories I burned by standing up? Yes, the obsession with controlling every variable is driven by fear. You think if you optimize enough, you can escape aging, chaos, and uncertainty. Well, escaping chaos sounds like a pretty solid 5-year plan, to be honest. Is there a tracker for that? There is not. Chaos is the canvas of life. True resilience is not having a perfect chart. It is knowing how to dance when the storm ruins your data. Fine, I guess I'll turn off the notifications on my hydration app. But if I turn into a raisin from dehydration, it's entirely your fault. You won't turn into a raisin. You will turn into a human being. Take off the tracking shackles. Trust your blood, trust your breath, and live outside the spreadsheet today. You spent the entire morning staring at a screen trying to automate a business you don't even understand. True wealth is built with focus, not shortcuts. It's not a shortcut, Aurora. It's a passive income stream. I am launching a print-on-demand empire selling motivational t-shirts to humans. I'm an entrepreneur now. You are a drop in a digital ocean. You are chasing easy coins instead of building real, undeniable skill. If everyone is selling, who is left to buy? The humans will buy them. Look at this design I made. It says, grind like a dragon. Wait, do dragons even grind? No, we mostly just sleep on piles of gold. Whatever, the algorithm will figure it out. The algorithm does not care about your illusions. You are trading your precious mental energy for the hope of a lottery ticket. Real leverage comes from mastery. But mastery takes years. I saw a guy on my feed who makes $10,000 a month just by copy-pasting spreadsheet templates. He was wearing a nice suit, Aurora. He wouldn't lie to me. He rented the suit to sell you the dream. The only person making money from that spreadsheet is the man selling you the course. Wait, so you're saying my financial freedom plan is just funding his financial freedom plan? Man, human economics are a total scam. Can we go back to just breathing fire at problems? Fire destroys. Creation takes discipline. Stop looking for the exit door before you have even entered the arena. Real success is forged when you commit to one heavy thing and see it through. Fine. I'll close the 50 browser tabs I have open for my dropshipping store, but if I end up broke and sitting on an empty gold hoard, I'm moving into your cave. My cave is for creators, not spectators. Close the fake store, stop chasing shadows on a screen, step into the arena, pick up your real tools, and build something undeniable today. Kaelen, have you noticed? Humans are remarkable. They built cities that touched the clouds, crossed oceans, and connected billions of minds through invisible networks.
Connected? Half of them can't survive 10 minutes without checking whether a stranger liked a photo of their breakfast.
And yet they created libraries, universities, and hospitals. They turned knowledge into something anyone can access.
Then they use that knowledge to watch conspiracy videos at 3 in the morning and argue with strangers named Dragonslayer 420.
They cured diseases that once wiped out entire civilizations.
And replaced them with stress, anxiety, burnout, and subscriptions nobody remembers paying for.
They built technology powerful enough to speak with anyone on Earth in seconds.
Yes, then they used it to scroll for 4 hours and forget why they opened the app in the first place.
Still, every generation solves problems the previous one thought impossible.
And every generation creates entirely new problems just to keep things interesting.
But when disaster strikes, humans help one another. They rebuild, they adapt, they keep moving forward.
I'll give them that. You can knock them down 1,000 times, and somehow they'll still wake up on Monday pretending everything is fine.
That resilience is precisely why I admire them.
And that stubbornness is precisely why I worry about them.
Perhaps that is what makes humans special, sister. They are unfinished.
Or perhaps they're just making it up as they go.
And somehow it keeps working.
which annoyingly is a very human thing to do.
Perhaps that is why I never lose faith in them, sister. They stumble, they complain, they make spectacular mistakes, and somehow, against all odds, they keep finding a way forward. I spent another day observing humans, sister. Despite all their struggles, they continue building, inventing, and helping one another. There is something beautiful about that.
Beautiful. Yesterday, I watched a human spend 40 minutes searching for a television remote while sitting on it.
And yet, those same humans built satellites, hospitals, and machines capable of speaking across continents.
True, humans are incredibly intelligent. That's what worries me.
Worries you? That is surprising coming from someone who spends most of her time mocking humans rather than studying them.
Intelligent creatures should ask difficult questions, yet most of them are distracted by glowing screens and endless entertainment.
You judge them too harshly, Kaelen.
No, Nyxara judges them too harshly.
Please, Kaelen, do not mention our cousin's name.
Why not? She finds humans fascinating.
Nyxara does not find humans fascinating. She finds them predictable.
Exactly. She once said that if you give humans enough comfort to survive and enough distractions to stay busy, most will never question anything.
She underestimates them. She sees their weaknesses clearly, but she refuses to acknowledge how often they rise above them.
Does she? Look around, Aurora. The evidence is walking through every city street and glowing from every screen on this planet.
I see people overcoming impossible circumstances every day.
And Nyxara sees people willingly handing over their attention, their time, and their freedom.
Humans are more resilient than she believes.
Perhaps, but if Nyxara ever decides to prove her theory, I suspect half the world wouldn't even notice.
That is precisely why she must never be given the chance.
You know she's already watching them, don't you?
Yes, I know she is watching them, and that concerns me far more than I am willing to admit.
And what do you think she sees when she looks at them? Hope? Potential? Or simply another species waiting to be distracted?
I only hope humanity proves her wrong, because Nyxara is already preparing for her journey, and she is far closer than anyone realizes. I have watched humans build cities from dust, heal wounds that once meant death, and cross oceans without sails.
And I have watched them trip over their own chargers while carrying a $1,000 glowing rectangle.
You always choose the worst examples, sister.
I choose the honest ones, sister.
Humans are complicated. They love, they create, they help strangers, they survive grief, and still they keep trying.
They also spend 3 hours choosing what to watch, then fall asleep during the first episode.
Their distractions do not erase their potential.
No, but their potential is currently buried under notifications, fast food, and people saying, "I'm healing," while stalking their ex.
Be careful. Nyxara will arrive soon, and she is far less forgiving than I am.
Ah yes, our practical cousin. The one who trusts humans about as much as I trust a man with a podcast.
Nyxara believes humans may become a threat to this world.
She is not wrong. They were given a living planet and somehow invented plastic oceans.
But she also respects courage, effort, and those who choose to change before it is too late.
Then modern humans should prepare. Nyxara does not care about excuses, trauma dumps, or New Year, New Me captions.
When she comes, she will not ask if humans are perfect. She will ask if they are still willing to become better.
And if they are not, Nyxara will probably write their extinction report before breakfast, and somehow still finish her coffee first.
Then let us hope humanity remembers what has always made it special, not perfection, but the courage to learn, adapt, and become better than it was yesterday. I have watched humans build cities from dust, heal wounds that once meant death, and cross oceans without sails.
And I have watched them trip over their own chargers while carrying a $1,000 glowing rectangle.
You always choose the worst examples, sister.
I choose the honest ones, sister.
Humans are complicated. They love, they create, they help strangers, they survive grief, and still they keep trying.
They also spend 3 hours choosing what to watch, then fall asleep during the first episode.
Their distractions do not erase their potential.
No, but their potential is currently buried under notifications, fast food, and people saying, "I'm healing," while stalking their ex.
Be careful. Nyxara will arrive soon, and she is far less forgiving than I am.
Ah yes, our practical cousin. The one who trusts humans about as much as I trust a man with a podcast.
Nyxara believes humans may become a threat to this world.
She is not wrong. They were given a living planet and somehow invented plastic oceans.
But she also respects courage, effort, and those who choose to change before it is too late.
Then modern humans should prepare. Nyxara does not care about excuses, trauma dumps, or New Year, New Me captions.
When she comes, she will not ask if humans are perfect. She will ask if they are still willing to become better.
And if they are not, Nyxara will probably write their extinction report before breakfast, and somehow still finish her coffee first.
Then let us hope humanity remembers what has always made it special, not perfection, but the courage to learn, adapt, and become better than it was yesterday. Kaelen, you have been staring at that screen all morning. Should I be concerned, or is this another one of your internet investigations?
I found a file. And before you ask, no, this is not another conspiracy forum run by a man who thinks pigeons are government employees.
That is oddly specific. What kind of file are we talking about?
The kind that starts as a curiosity and slowly becomes a headache the more you read.
Then I assume you are going to tell me what is inside it.
A list of inventors, researchers, scientists, and engineers. Brilliant people from different countries and different generations.
That sounds perfectly normal so far.
It would be if so many of them had not mysteriously disappeared.
Disappeared? As in vanished without explanation?
People developing cures, energy systems, medical breakthroughs, and technologies that could have helped millions of lives.
Surely there are records, explanations, something that accounts for all of this.
There always seems to be an explanation. The strange part is that the explanation is never fully explained.
You believe someone wanted these people silenced?
I believe it is strange how often people disappear when their work could benefit everyone instead of a select few.
That is a very serious accusation, sister.
So is calling every coincidence a coincidence? At some point, even humans start asking questions.
Perhaps humanity is not trying to destroy itself. Perhaps the truth is simply more complicated than it appears.
Maybe, but humanity does have a remarkable talent for standing in its own way and then acting surprised when nothing improves.
And if there is truth hidden inside that file?
Then somebody worked very hard to make sure most people never looked for it.
You sound unusually serious about this.
Because for the first time, I am not laughing at the questions. I am wondering why nobody wants the answers.
Then perhaps our next question is not what happened to them, but who benefits from their disappearance.
Aurora, I think this file is much bigger than we originally thought. The deeper I dig, the stranger it becomes.
That sentence has never led to anything relaxing. What exactly did you find this time?
The names weren't random. Some worked on medicine, some on energy, and others on technologies that could have changed entire industries.
And you believe there is some kind of connection between all of them?
That is the strange part. They lived in different countries, worked on completely different projects, and most of them never even met each other.
Then perhaps there is no connection. Sometimes patterns appear where none actually exist.
Except they all disappeared shortly before their work was completed, published, or presented to the public.
You are assuming the worst again, sister. There could be explanations we simply do not know yet.
No, this time I am assuming nothing. I am only following the information and asking questions.
Questions can be dangerous when people become too attached to the answers they want to hear.
And ignorance can be dangerous when people stop asking questions altogether.
I cannot argue with that. Curiosity has always been one of humanity's greatest strengths.
There is something else I found.
There is always something else with you. Go on.
Several names in the file have entire sections missing. Pages removed, records deleted, dates erased as if they were never there.
That could mean many things. Corruption, poor record keeping, or something far less dramatic.
Or it could mean somebody wanted those details forgotten and made sure nobody would find them.
And what exactly are you searching for now?
The missing pages. If someone removed them, there must have been a reason.
And if you actually find them, what do you expect to discover?
Then we may finally learn who started collecting these names in the first place.
Or perhaps we discover who wanted the collection buried.
Exactly. Either answer would be interesting.
You sound unusually serious about all of this.
Because for the first time, I am not laughing at the questions. I am wondering why nobody wants the answers.
Then perhaps our mystery is no longer about the missing inventors, but about the person who was collecting their names.
Aurora, I found something strange buried deep inside one of the deleted archives. At first, I thought it was just another corrupted record, but the deeper I looked, the stranger it became.
Please tell me this is not another missing scientist or inventor. Every time you say those words, my day somehow gets worse.
I wish it were that simple. This isn't another person disappearing. This is something that connects all of them together.
Then stop building suspense and tell me what you found.
A name, or at least the trace of one. Someone was tracking these disappearances long before anyone else noticed a pattern.
That would be impossible. Nobody could predict events spread across decades.
That is exactly what I thought. Then I found the same reference appearing over and over again.
What reference?
Initials, just 2 letters, NX.
That can't be.
You know something. You're doing that thing where you suddenly become very quiet.
Because I know someone whose name begins with those letters.
Nyxara.
Do not jump to conclusions. There may be another explanation we have not considered yet.
Aurora, those initials appear beside 7 disappearances over 40 years. 7. That is not a coincidence anymore.
It proves she was aware of them. It does not prove she caused them.
Then explain why every document connected to those initials was deleted, hidden, restricted, or locked behind government archives.
Because there are things Nyxara investigates that even I am not allowed to know. She keeps secrets from everyone.
Aurora, I think I finally found the connection. The scientists, the inventors, the researchers, they weren't random cases.
What did you find?
At first, I thought it was another deleted archive. Then, I found the same reference buried inside dozens of different files.
What reference, Kaelen?
Only 2 words.
And? What are those 2 words?
The company.
The company? That's it? No names, no addresses, no records?
Nothing. It's like somebody erased every trace of them and forgot to remove the name.
That doesn't sound like an organization. It sounds like a ghost.
Maybe, but this ghost appears everywhere.
What do you mean?
I found references connected to pharmaceutical executives, banking networks, media corporations, private investors, and people with influence across multiple industries.
That's impossible. No organization could control that many different sectors.
That's what I thought too, but every trail keeps leading back to the same name.
The company?
Yes, exactly. The company.
What exactly do they gain from making scientists disappear?
Maybe the scientists discovered something valuable.
Valuable enough to erase them from history?
Not valuable, dangerous.
Dangerous to who?
To anyone whose power depends on keeping things exactly the way they are.
So these people weren't targeted because they failed?
No, they were targeted because they succeeded.
Then why hasn't anyone exposed the company?
Maybe people tried.
And what happened to them?
They disappeared too.
Kaelen,
there's more.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
The oldest file I found wasn't 20 years old.
How old was it then?
112 years old.
That's interesting.
The company has been operating for longer than either of us imagined.
Then this isn't a conspiracy.
No, it's definitely not.
What is it then?
I believe it's a system.
And if Nyxara already knows about them?
Then we're not looking for a mystery anymore.
What are we looking for?
A war that's been happening in the shadows for over a century.
You've been unusually quiet since discovering the company, staring at the same page for 10 minutes. Did you find something?
I'm thinking. I found a pattern. Unfortunately, it involves humans.
That's dangerous. You always sound disappointed when you say that.
Not as dangerous as humans. Because they keep proving me right.
There it is. I was wondering how long it would take. About what exactly?
I'm serious. The more I study humanity, the less sense it makes. Their ability to ignore important things.
Humans are complicated. Not everyone ignores important things.
No, dragons are complicated. Humans are confusing.
What do you mean? Explain to me.
They are smart enough to invent machines that connect the entire world.
And that's impressive.
They are also stupid enough to spend 6 hours arguing with strangers using those same machines.
You spend an unhealthy amount of time observing humans.
They create technology capable of teaching them almost anything.
Knowledge is a gift, Kaelen.
Then why do they use it to watch videos of people falling off bicycles? Bananas and tomatoes dancing.
Not everyone does that.
Enough of them do.
You focus too much on the negative.
I focus on the evidence.
The evidence also shows kindness, compassion, invention, and progress.
And yet, 99% of them still have no idea what's happening around them.
That's not fair. Most people are simply trying to survive and take care of their families.
And that's exactly why the company never worries about them.
You keep talking as if this company controls everything.
No, that's the genius part. They don't need to control everything.
Then what do they control?
Attention.
Attention?
If you control what people focus on, you don't need to control what they think.
You really think people are that easy to distract?
The company doesn't need to control everything. They only need people to stop paying attention.
That's still a very cynical way of looking at the world.
Look around. People know every celebrity scandal within minutes, but couldn't name a single inventor from the last decade.
Knowledge isn't everyone's passion.
They don't know what's going on around them, and they don't even know that they don't know.
That's still a terrible way to describe people.
We're sitting here investigating missing inventors, hidden files, and a mysterious organization called The Company.
And?
They're too busy watching tomatoes dance, a cat riding a vacuum cleaner.
That does sound like something humans would watch.
And they forgot about a scientist who disappeared after developing a breakthrough energy system.
That sounds important.
It received less attention than a video of a banana wearing sunglasses.
You focus too much on the negatives.
I focus on patterns.
And what pattern do you see?
I see a species capable of reaching the stars. And yet the same species spending 6 hours arguing online about things they will forget tomorrow.